Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
All right, call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. on November 16th. It's a virtual meeting, not at the Brick Meetings House. Just before we actually move to adopt it, everybody does know that we are meeting for budget virtually at 9 in the morning on Thursday. Is that correct?
Oh, 9. I thought it was 10. Is it 9? Okay.
Well, I asked Bill to send everybody to see if they wanted to change it to 9, and I think John and I don't think you, Stan.
Well, I don't remember seeing that.
Is that okay?
You guys are gonna just be doing your selectmen's budget, not the highway on that day, right?
Well, we kind of did the first pass on the highway, so I guess
Right.
we're selectmen's, and then we'll have a third meeting probably sometime after Thanksgiving to finalize everything.
Okay, because that morning I believe I'm meeting with Jeff Nugent to do the mapping for the
Okay.
stump dump,
All right.
so I won't be able to be there at that one.
Kim, are you there? Kim?
I am. I'm
Is
here.
that okay? Is that okay if we do the selectmen's budget and then we do it after Thanksgiving to finalize everything? Can you live with that?
Yep, that'll be fine.
Perfect. Okay, a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
There's just one change. We got to do the minutes of November 12th.
Yeah, we have to, that was just added on. I think those minutes just came in. Do you want to do those today?
Yeah.
Has everybody had a chance to read them?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll amend need a motion to adopt the agenda as amended to include the minutes of the 12th.
Should there be another amendment or correction to show that it was not at the meeting house, that it was virtual? I mean, we've talked about it. That's not what it shows on the writing.
Well, I've
already corrected it.
did open the meeting saying that it was virtual, but do you want to?
I've already corrected the agenda.
Okay.
All right, a motion to adopt, please.
So moved.
Motion we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second? Second. All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so we have the minutes of November 2nd. So a motion, do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes of November 2nd?
There's a couple of typos.
Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
On 7, where it says Rich Thompson, it has MAS. I think it should just be AS, as.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And then on the second page, you have the letter
What number?
letter O, but you have a number for second on 8. The section budget.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. It's the.
I don't know where you are.
Misspelling.
Where?
Number 8.
Number 8, Bill.
Right down.
Third line down.
Yeah, the second budget should be
Oh, I see. Yeah.
SEO.
Okay. I got it.
Number.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a much bigger one.
Okay.
Under attendees, have Danny Taylor listed as a health officer.
Where? 10 what?
No, I changed that already. Yeah, I got that.
Well, that's not what it shows on mine.
I know. I caught it today and I changed it.
Okay.
But thank you. Yeah, I got it.
Any other additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, a motion to approve the minutes of November 2nd.
So moved.
Alan made the motion second.
Second.
John, okay. All in favor of approving the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? How about the 12th?
I've got a couple of changes under number 2.
Whoever just came on, shut your mic off.
Go ahead, Stan.
Under highway, pretty much all the way, about halfway through the paragraph where it starts with passive requires that a person contracted to fill out our crew who uses our equipment, and use our equipment is in there twice.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then under town administrator, if ill, on the second sentence, if ill, that cannot be done, there are 2 person, maybe people. Person should maybe be people who could be called upon, or 2 persons.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure you want to do that. And then I think under 3, I think the meeting actually ended around 11. It's listed as noon. I thought it was like 11.
11 o'clock. The meeting ended at 11 because Stan, you had to go at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, the meeting ended at 12:05.
No, 11:05.
No, 11.
I think it was 11.
11.
And then the other correction should be 11:05, not 12:05.
Yeah, 11:05.
So you guys only met for an hour?
No, we started early because the first part of the meeting only lasted 45 minutes. And we went through the highway budget, and Stan said he had to leave. And so we adjourned the meeting, but the meeting continued with some subcommittees meeting, discussing with John and
Okay.
whatever. Are there any other additions or corrections?
I have a couple minor ones.
Go ahead.
Suzanne Welch, Welch should be capitalized in
What number?
attendees. Attendees,
Oh, attendees. Okay.
and then under highway, declaring an emergency, even National Guard could be called on and from Danny Taylor. I think should be called on, period. The and should be gone. The comma should be gone. Have a capital indicating you're starting a sentence from Danny Taylor.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Anybody else have any other additions or corrections? If not, a motion to amend the minutes of November 12th as amended. Say, make a motion, please.
Motion to accept is amended.
Alan makes the motion. Second.
Second.
Kathy, okay. All in favor of the minutes as amended, say aye. Opposed? Okay. The warrants, I know we all signed them today. I was the last to sign. I gave them over to Kim, so that's done. And Kathy, are you going to open up the bids, or who's opening these bids up?
Yeah, I have one.
And I don't see any other. Let me go check the mailbox.
Is Tim Morton on the call?
I don't see him on here, Danny.
Yeah, he's right here.
Oh, well, here he is. Hi, Tim.
Hi, folks. I was just shutting a light off.
Bill is checking to see if another bid did come in.
Okay, you want the name of the bidder?
Hang on 1 minute. Let's wait till Bill gets back, Kathy, and then we'll start.
Protocol, Kathy, that we use is that you would name the sale that you're opening a bid for the following sale. And then you would state, I have a bid of X dollars submitted by X company.
Okay.
I checked to make sure they were at the showing.
We only have one bid, huh?
It's
That's
not
it. I
surprising.
don't see any others, and I wasn't given any today.
Okay. All right, Kathy, go ahead.
I have a total bid submitted of $15,794. And
From?
from Logan Sears, Sears, the last name.
Of Longview Forestry.
Right.
They were at the bid showing. They were invited to the bid. They are long-standing operators in good standing with us. We use them for timber sales and for vegetative management contracts. It exceeds the minimum bid.
Usually, Tim, the procedure that on bids is we don't accept them. We open them up and then we let people review them. You should review the contracts or whoever, and then we'll, at a subsequent meeting, we'll accept the bid. Is that how you want to proceed, everybody? Alan?
It's a little unique that we only have one bid, and it meets the requirements, but it probably would be prudent to let Tim review it and make sure everything is in order. I trust that it is, but it might be good procedure.
Can I just add, I just gave you the total. Let's specify each category with prices. I didn't read those.
Yeah, it's not necessary at this point. We will use those if we draft a contract. I'm happy to review it. I think if someone can scan it to me, then I will respond to, I guess I would respond to Alan. Is that right?
Well, either Alan or Bill, either one, if it's okay, then we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting, which is December 2nd.
Okay.
And then, if it's okay with you, Tim, let Alan and Bill know, and then, and we'll just accept the bid, and then you can go from there.
Once you've, assuming you accept it, once you do, we can do all the processing of contract and checks and that. So we sort
That's
of
great.
do the administrative stuff and then send that on to Bill.
Rather you do that. I think you have more experience with it, so at least the board feels differently.
It's easily for us, so.
Okay.
My only suggestion is it might be good to make contact with Longview and make them aware of what happened, what's going on, and it's, you know, assuming everything is good, that we are going to accept it, rather than waiting 2 or 3 weeks. At least they know they have it, and perhaps that's a difference of whether it gets on the schedule for this winter or not.
Yeah, I can send them. We have a standard form I can fill out that would say they're the apparent high bidder awaiting approval from the select board.
Exactly.
Okay, is everybody on board with that procedure?
Yep.
Yep.
Mr. Chair,
That
Mr.
number.
Chair.
Yes?
I would like you guys to make a motion that all the administration of the contracts be handled by Tim Morton, and that he notify Longview of that what he just said, that they are the apparent winner. I'd rather have that a motion than just everybody agree to it.
Okay.
Please.
I make the motion that we authorize Tim to be the administrator and ask him to contact Longview that they are the apparent high bidder.
Do we have a second to that?
I'll second.
Stan? Okay. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Vote. Okay, Tim, it's in your hands.
Yeah, I just have one last question, Kathy.
Sure,
Can
go
you
ahead.
read that total lump sum bid to me number again, please?
$15,794.
00?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks, folks. I'll keep you posted.
All right,
Mr.
thank you.
Chair,
I will
Mr.
forward to
Chair.
you
And Bill will get that over to you as soon as he get it from Kathy.
Thanks, Tim.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
while Tim is on the phone, I would just like to make a follow-up comment, please. You'll recall that in a previous select board meeting, Tim volunteered to take a group of us out on a hike through the village park to show us the logging project. And on October 15th, we did that with 5 participants. And it was a really important and meaningful experience for all of us. Tim explained the decision process and all the variables that go into it. And the group of us came away with a feeling that, and not just a feeling, but also an understanding that the benefits of this project far outweigh any negatives that one might have thought of. So I just wanted to say thank you to Tim for taking the time and effort to show us the project, and just let him know that the outcome was and let the select board know also that the outcome was very positive. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll add that I had my trusty sidekick, Alan, with me.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for your comments, Sue, and thank you, Tim.
Okay.
And it's in your hands, so we'll move on. Okay. Have a good
Bye.
night. Okay. Danny, Highway. I guess, do you have anything before we get into the discussion?
No.
Danny, I got one thing. How's the pruning of the trees from the firehouse up through? Has that been started?
It's going to happen this week.
Okay.
Okay, so we discussed at the budget meeting about the plan of implementation. How do you want to handle this?
Well, I don't think we have anything to discuss here other than what's in the minutes.
Yeah.
Because we haven't met yet. But it was on there just to make that go forward if we had anything.
Okay. So if this,
But there might be comment on that. But
Yeah.
I summarized what we did in the minutes. So.
Well, I think the meeting of the contractors should be done right away. It shouldn't be put off.
well, I've constructed Bill to set it all up, so hopefully it can happen this week.
John, is it your intent to meet with them collectively or individually?
I have nothing to do with it. I'm not on that. It was Danny, Joe, and Bill.
It was going to meet collectively, Alan.
And that would be a virtual meeting or a personal meeting?
Well, I don't know. Visually, we were going to have it as a personal meeting, but I don't know whether I'm permitted to do that or not.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
I don't know.
I was under understanding Bill was just going to check with the 4 local contractors and see if they were interested.
Right.
And check out the whole, how the insurance stuff is going to work. And then we're going to meet with them after we figured that part out. That's what how I thought it was.
Bill was supposed to contact him this week, and then
That's what I remember.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's what I remember too.
Yes. Okay, so I'll make sure that happens, and then we'll take it from there and see how we want to make the meeting. Anything else, Danny?
No.
Okay, does anybody else have anything for Danny? Okay, if not, we shall move on. Kim, are you here? Kim? Did we?
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You're up for next. You have anything you want to discuss?
Nope. Taxes are being paid. Stack of them to enter tomorrow. Not much. Working on the budget, getting ready for Thursday. I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous about having my office open. There's a tremendous amount of traffic going in and out of my office. It's making me feel uncomfortable. I can't speak for my listers, but I know they're putting in a lot of time because of the reappraisal, and I can't imagine that they're not feeling uncomfortable also. I'm trying to update and get all of our land records online so that I can have that offered for my researchers. So I am contemplating locking the doors for appointments only. And I'm gonna pursue that maybe a little further this week and talk with Bill.
Hey, Kim, what type of traffic are you getting?
Well, when tax payments are due, people rather than putting them in the slot in the door, they'd rather come in and hand them to me, which means a sign in and me taking them. They don't have their amount. Just everyday type of stuff. So. And I just assume people call and ask me those questions and just use the drop box. So it's a busy time of the year.
Well, I guess, Kim, is that something that you make that decision as the town clerk?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it is.
So I guess if you and Bill and the listers feel uncomfortable, I certainly don't have any issue of you going back to what we used to do before.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my feeling.
Okay.
I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. You're the safety person for the office, Kim, so
Yeah.
I'd say that's your authority.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we did find out today that Kim and Bill are not essential employees.
Yeah, Bill, I showed him the email because a lot of the clerks on the MuniNet have been talking about whether we're considered essential or not, and what guidance do we have. And we did get a little verbiage from, I think it's Ted Brady, and I shared it with Bill that if it's at all possible to remotely work, unless you feel it's a necessity to come in. In my case, to put in taxes and all that is kind of a necessity, and that's where we're at right now. It's tax day today.
I personally feel that we, in the first lockdown, we declared that you and Bill were essential, and we did that. Unless somebody else has a different, I have the same feeling. So that's just my 2 cents.
And I feel comfortable working there as long as there's not a lot of traffic, because we are so isolated. We have so few that do work within the office that I feel comfortable just with the small group we have. But then when you start getting people just flowing in for various reasons, that kind of makes me a little uneasy. So,
well,
on another subject, I wanted to let you know too that my vault door, I think I had someone come in and take a look at it for my combination. And there is an issue with it, and he really didn't want to touch it. He's just a locksmith. I have to contact Diebold, who takes care of Mosler safes. And it is not going to be an easy project. It is going to be quite expensive. I've not yet contacted the company to find out exactly what they mean by being expensive. This is coming from the lock repair. I will pursue that after everything simmers down here. Right now, it's just not being used, because if I use it and then I can't unlock it because it's sticking, we're in real big trouble. So just so you know, that's on the back burner for a project.
Hey, Kim, one thought, if you're going to lock up, would it make sense, and maybe you've already done it, have your number and the phone number and Bill's phone number posted on the door? If they come in and they have a question, they can call you on their cell phone or something?
I think it is. Okay. Or it was in the very beginning, and I'll check and see if it's still there. Yeah, it's probably still up, and it's on the website.
Okay. I just figured somebody walking in, just to find out what their taxes were or something.
And while we're on the subject, even though it doesn't really pretend it wasn't on the agenda, but it is with Kim, do we still want to have all 5 select persons go in and sign the warrants? Is that still okay? We weren't able to do that before, but right now it's still on a voluntary. So
well, I think that was mostly up to you guys how you felt about it.
No, the office was closed. You remember? So we decided not to do that. So
that's up to you guys. I don't have much to do.
I don't have a problem going in and signing them, but
I don't have a, I do it on Sunday or Monday morning before anybody's even there.
Yeah,
so,
that's,
okay, so we'll leave it at that so far, that we just continue to sign. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
All righty.
Can I comment
Sure.
on the two positions not being essential?
Sure.
If you remember, when this came around the first time, the select board declared that the road crew was essential. And that seemed to resolve that question, whether they could continue to work or not. If we wanted, and if Kim would like us to, could we also declare that they are essential? Even though the state says they're not, it seems like the town could say, well, in our case, we feel they are essential, and that lets them off the hook. And we could say essential, but they'll work in a locked office or closed office. The office will not be open to the public in the traditional method.
Didn't we do that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we already did that for Bill.
I'm just asking if we should do it again, just to make it clear. That's all. I don't know.
Well, it still stays in effect unless we change it. So I think unless somebody wants to change it, I think it's there from the last time.
But did we determine last time that Bill and Kim were essential, or did we only declare the road crew was essential? That's my point. If it was only the road crew that we determined essential, should we include Bill and Kim?
I believe Bill, Kim, and the road crew are included as essential. I think that's what we decided, but I could be wrong.
Well, why don't we just redo it right now and then it'll be done with.
Make a motion. Somebody make a motion. Kathy, go ahead.
I make a motion that the road crew and Kim, Record, and Bill Kearns be essential workers to the Grafton town.
Second.
Okay, so Alan seconded, Kathy made the motion. Any further discussions? If not, all in favor of Kathy's motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, all right, good. Kim, do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep.
And you let us know how you want to proceed going forward.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep you updated.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, we received the planning commission, so all we need to do now is pick a date, I do believe.
That's correct.
So do you have any dates in
Well,
mind?
wait a minute. You're jumping ahead. Number 7 has to do with the member. You jumped ahead to 8.
Sorry, right. Okay.
Oh.
We do have one member who has expressed interest. I get his name. It's
Ben Jones.
Ben Jones. Yeah. How does the select board like to proceed? Would you like to have him come into the next? We invited Bill and I invited him to come to this meeting just to listen, and he had a prior meeting with Google. Would you like to have him come to the December 2nd meeting so we could kind of ask him some questions? How would you like to proceed?
can't the planning commission just interview him and then put up just a recommendation to the board?
They recommended to the board. Yes.
They've already made the recommendation. I attended the meeting where they interviewed him virtually, and I participated in that meeting. I heard the discussion. I had a chance to ask him questions. They are already recommending him to us.
And I was at that board meeting too.
That's correct.
So how do you want to proceed? Do you want to vote tonight on this, or do you want to have him come in and vote at the next meeting? so we can all kind of meet them.
Well, I look at it this way. There is no other candidate. We have no reason to reject him. And it's not like we're deciding between this person or that person, which then I would say, yes, we should have an interview. I would make a motion that we follow the Planning Commission's recommendation.
I'll second it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any discussion, further discussion?
No.
If not, a motion to accept.
I made that motion.
Yeah, I mean, we need to have a vote. So all in favor of Alan's motion to accept the candidate?
No, you're not going to accept him. You're going to appoint him to the Planning Commission.
Appoint him to the Planning Commission.
Well, we are accepting the recommendation to appoint what the Planning Commission made.
No.
No,
They recommend you appoint by law.
The motion is we need to appoint him. We do appoint.
Yes.
The Planning Commission made their recommendation to Select Board. We are the person to make the appointment.
Yes.
Correct.
So the motion needs to say, we will appoint him to the.
That's what I recommend. I recommend that we appoint Ben as.
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we follow the recommendation from the Planning Commission.
And
No.
appoint.
No,
No.
No,
we have to.
Get
No,
recommend-
please. All you got to do is appoint.
Well, we
You're
have
going
to appoint him.
appoint.
It's not
drop
a-
the recommendation.
You can make
just
the
appoint.
recommendation, you accept them, and you
Yeah.
appoint. If you want to put it that way, fine. But you
Yeah.
got to appoint.
We have to appoint.
Let's appoint him.
Okay. All right. All right. All in
Second.
favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed?
And who was the second, please?
Stan.
Stan.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. All right, so Dave, you're all set with him then. You proceed, all right? Okay? All right, the next one is the town plan. We need to, I guess we need to do we need to formally accept it?
Yep. I would make a motion that you have received the town plan and amendments and the report, and you are formally receiving them.
Okay, so who wants to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, who seconds that?
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion that Bill has read, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay. Now, the next order of business, we need to have a date for our public hearing.
Joe.
Select boards.
Joe, well, can you go back to and Kathy made the motion about who's essential? Because I think you better add Michelle Dollar to that.
I didn't understand you.
Danny wants to add Michelle Dolph to the essential workers other than Kim.
Yes.
Yeah, if we want people to get paid, that's a good point.
Okay. So doesn't anybody have an objection just adding her name to that?
No.
Oh,
Okay. Then we'll do that. Okay, thank you, Danny.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks,
so
Danny.
Dave, we need to set a date. Bill, what's the regulation? What date do we need to have this public hearing?
You have to, it has to be more than 30 days and less than 120 from the date you received it. You received it on the 11th. However, we've got to advertise it, and you have to advertise it for 15 days. So my recommendation is that you have the public hearing right before the town meeting, right before the select board meeting on the 21st. So you have it prior to that, and then you may take action on it after. What the action is to send it to the town meeting to we should probably have a formal. Kim and I can work on the article, but the article that you're going to approve to be put on the town meeting so that we have that all done and it goes to town meeting for an Australian ballot.
So what you're saying is that you want to set the select board meeting on the 21st of December.
Correct.
Okay.
No,
hearing
select board
first.
hearing.
The hearing.
A
And then
hearing
it'll be-
followed by a meeting.
Well, there's your regular meeting, and then at your regular meeting, you will have a chance to make the motion after the
Right,
hearing.
that's what
So
I'm
is
saying, yeah.
Everybody okay with that date?
Make that motion as described by Bill.
Okay. Second?
Second,
Alrighty. All in favor of having the public hearing, the select board's public hearing on the 21st of December, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that's done. Do we have anything else, Dave? Your microphone's off. Your microphone's off. We can't hear you.
can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Dave.
It's on now. I don't know
Should
why
we
you
do
can't hear
smoke
it.
signals or something? All right, well, since Dave can't speak, we'll move on. Did he come on? No. I guess,
I don't know what's going on here. I'm for several people, I'm getting a text type message that doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Huh.
I have no idea what it is.
alrighty,
His
so,
microphone is off. Oh, now it just went away.
no,
It's
Dave,
I still have him.
yeah,
No,
Dave?
he's still there, and his microphone is on according to my
Yeah.
screen.
well, we can't hear him, so, okay, Dave. All right, the next item is the school. Is Jack Breyer around?
He was.
What happened to Jack?
He was just there.
Here he
Oh,
comes.
he's here. Your mic's off, Jack.
Jack,
Hi, sorry. I'm literally in two meetings tonight because I'm also participating in the statewide discussion about waiting studies. So my apologies. Yes. So we're at the school section, I guess. The thing that I wanted to communicate with folks is that, as you know, any one of the three towns can petition to withdraw from the unified school district, and because Westminster is physically so separate from the rest of the district, and because they were willing to pay for it, we thought that if they wanted to go first, we'd welcome that, and they apparently have. To the best of our knowledge, we had a report from Cheryl Charles at our meeting saying that the town of Westminster did receive a petition at their last meeting. They approved that petition of withdrawal and have scheduled a meeting of the town or a vote of the town to withdraw on December 15th. Now, I have not got confirmation of that from Russ, and it sounds like Bill got nothing from Russ except maybe the opposite information. But it is our understanding, at least as best as we know, that there is an ongoing vote. Assuming that takes place as scheduled, the next step would be for the board of the school to schedule a meeting or schedule a vote together with the two towns, Grafton and Athens, to accept that withdrawal. And then they would go, then if we did that, it would have to be within, I guess, 40 days of the December 15th, approval by Westminster. And if that takes place, then we would schedule a special meeting, a special vote at this point, considering we can't meet, a special vote of the two towns to vote it up or down. at that point, Westminster would go to the State Board of Education and see what happens. As you all know, this is new territory for the state board. The Agency of Education has not taken a position on whether or not Westminster can legally withdraw. It seems that they can, but we will be the first town to have been, or be the first district to have been consolidated by the SBE to have a town petition to withdraw. The language of the statute seems to imply that they can do so, but we'll see what happens when it goes to the SBE. And depending on what they do, then we may come to Athens and Grafton and say, well, we now have a precedent and we can go forward with separating the two towns if you all would like. So that's kind of where we're at. As I say, to the best of our knowledge, a scheduled vote on the 15th of December by Westminster, and we'll see what happens.
Jack, I got an email this morning, this afternoon, late this afternoon, that said that Westminster did approve it, but they want to send it to the attorneys.
Well, that could be. That was not, we did not have that information as of Thursday. So that may be something that Russ wants to do, or maybe that's something the chair wanted to do, and that may delay it. But the vote apparently by the select board at the time was for the 15th, and if they're going to do it later, well, they'll do it later. My view is the only thing that's a go no go for us is when Westminster gets around to having a vote. That when Westminster gets around to having a vote, the clock would start for bringing it to you and to our to the school board, at which point they would have to have a vote of approval. And the advice we had was that it would probably be best if those were joint meetings of the board and of the towns. So I will keep you informed once I've got hard information. Bill's shaking his head, so clearly he's got different information than I've got.
Well, no, that's not the way it works at all.
All right.
First of all, it goes to the Secretary of State, who certifies the vote from Westminster and then informs Grafton and Athens that they have to have a vote, and they have to have a vote on the same day. And then Grafton and Athens have a vote on that same day. And those results are then sent to the Secretary of State. And so,
I didn't mean to take the Secretary of State out of the equation. I believe that's that's largely a formality based on the discussion I had with the Secretary of State's office. Didn't seem like they don't have discretion on this. It's merely reporting out.
Okay. And so that's one thing. The other thing I have to tell you is that Russ Hodgkin, the town manager, town of Westminster, last Thursday was very frustrated because he wants to see this thing go forward. He had not heard from them at all. They were supposed to be back at the November 10th meeting with those things that the select board told them on October 28th that they needed. No one showed up, and he has not heard from them. So if that meeting, if that vote is set for December 15th, Russ doesn't know about it.
Well, that's just marvelous. I know Jessa Westclark is on this call, and she heard the same stuff I heard. Jessa, did I mishear, or is that what you heard as well?
I actually saw an email, and I don't remember who it was from, that yes, the petition was received by the select board and accepted by the select board, but they did send it to the town attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if they can, I don't know what the warning required for that meeting is. I don't know if they can do a December 15th vote or not. Because there is special COVID guidelines regarding votes now.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
And I don't know what the I don't know what the interval with those special guidelines, if it's still 30 days or if it's less.
Jessica, that's the email that I received to this about 5:45 today.
Okay.
That the Westminster had approved it, but they wanted to send it to the attorneys. Now, I don't know if that delays it or not. I don't know. So can anybody verify that and let the bill and the select board know what really happened?
I will talk to Larry Slayson. He's been our district attorney, and he's also the Westminster town attorney. And I did leave him a note and didn't see anything back, but I'll check on that tomorrow.
I spoke to Larry about something unrelated a couple weeks ago, and he was heading to hunting camp and said he would basically be out of communication till December 1st. I don't know if that was specifically regarding his day job or his evening activities with school board, but yeah, he did say he was basically going to be gone till December 1st. So somebody might want to check on that, maybe with his partner.
Yeah, I can talk to his partner.
And then I think the other thing we tried to mention in the school board meeting is that this withdrawal action, especially due to our sort of precarious situation, we are not the favored children of the State Board of Education here in Grafton. This really has to be a town-led effort, and the school board has to stay fairly hands-off. Jack, getting information like Jack's doing back and forth with various groups is fine, but as a school board, the board, I don't know that we can make a recommendation one way or the other, because we don't want to taint the process with the State Board of Education.
Right.
So we're sort of treading carefully. We can provide information, but as a board, we can't provide you a recommendation.
We have our position before the SBE on this matter is going to be that we have acted in good faith to implement the consolidation. And we have, in fact, done that. We've tried all sorts of ways to consolidate administration. We tried to consolidate principals. We tried to consolidate some of the art programs. We took a look at all these things, and we actually got pushback from the administration saying it really wasn't physically possible. And we'd like to be able to state before the SBE, when we get called before it, to say, we are not sabotaging the consolidation. We have acted in good faith. It just simply doesn't work. And the individual towns have had the good sense enough to realize that, and they're making the petition, and we don't oppose it. And that's, that's important, we think, because we were accused of not being enthusiastic enough consolidating Grafton and Athens initially by the SBE, and Westminster effectively was a side casualty of that annoyance with us, that we were slow walking it. At least they thought we were. So from our perspective, it's important that the advisory committees or the select boards themselves receive citizen petitions, make a determination, and then act on it. And that was our understanding of what Westminster was doing, though it does sound like there's some timeline issues that we need to tidy up, among other things. I have to say that the consulting with attorney thing is a little bit funny, because Larry was the guy who worded the petition in the first place, so I have a little problem seeing how he's going to have any discomfort with his own wording, but we'll have to find out what the deal is there.
Well, that may be the town attorney. I don't think that is Larry Slayson.
Larry was a town attorney as of not that long ago.
Okay.
So that's why it's just a little bit of a head scratcher for me.
All right, so can you just verify all this and get back to us on where we
I
stand?
will get back to you
Let
this
us know.
week with a written note confirming the particulars.
Okay. And then if we need to do anything, then we shall do something. Kathy, you had something to say?
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question about the school advisory committee. What are they
Yep.
doing, and are they going to organize a meeting to get information for the public?
Right. Thank you, Kathy. That's a very important question. I think that we had assumed that each town would essentially act as a Title IX committee equivalent. The Title IX is what we did when we initially looked at the whole issue of voluntary consolidation. We had encouraged David Major and the members of the Westminster folks to reach out and meet with with the Athens and Grafton advisory boards, and they seem to have just decided to kind of go and do it on their own. So because of that, what I've said I will do is call formal meetings of the two advisory boards together at a point that's convenient in the next 30 days and have them look at particularly the financial stuff, because I think that's really important for everyone to know the extent to which this is a move that will benefit or negatively impact Athens and Grafton. You know, we lost our $200,000 small schools grant. I want to know if we're going to get it back, if we're back on our own. Because if we're not, that may not work out very well for us. These are the types of things we need to know, and just generally have a sense as to where we stand financially. I think that's the biggest part of it, Kathy. There may be other issues you all want to talk to.
I think they also asked you set up some kind of protocols for this committee to follow.
Yep. The other item is going to be governance, because when we remove two members of the Westminster board, do we want to change the governance of the Rump district? Are we going to work with a four-person board? I'd kind of like us to have more members, no matter what we do, because I think it gets tough if somebody's sick. So
Yeah, can I speak for a second?
go, Jessa.
To Kathy's point, what I think should happen is that Grafton should call a meeting of the school advisory committee and very much advertise it so it's a public meeting and people can get information there. And ahead of time, I think the town should query the school board for numbers, a lot of the financial information, get the tax information from Kim, whatever other information you would like to get regarding enrollment, test scores, what have you, because when this all settles out, Westminster, if the petition is approved for Westminster to leave, Grafton is then going to have to decide if we want to remain in a merged district operating a joint elementary school with Athens, or if we want to look at some other model. And even if we decide to keep the same model, Jack is right, we are going to have to modify the articles of agreement that were an issue. We had that meeting at the high school, and because of things like number of board members and terms and all those things will still have to be settled out. And that's something that the school advisory committee can really do. And there's also, if we elect to remove ourselves as well from the joint venture, then we will need a new school board from the town. And the school advisory committee will be in a great spot for a temporary appointment or something.
Right. The important thing to mention here is these advisory committees are the select board advisory committees, and they are called and populated at the pleasure of the select boards. We are basically, again, this is this hands-off situation. We can provide them with information. We can help you with what we think would be a best practice to organize yourselves, but it is your committee. We have taken the initial step of working with Laura Pagan, who is the new finance director, and as part of the budget prep coming up this coming month, we are going to have budget numbers for the district as a 3-town district, as 2 districts, one of Westminster, one of Athens and Grafton, and one of the 3 towns separate, with some at least swag level tax data, and that we anticipate being able to provide to you. That's the piece we can do, and a piece you can't do. So we'll get you that, but and we can be helpful in terms of sort of the governance issues and tell you how we're organized and what the recommendations are, but it would ultimately be your decision.
Jessica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. See, this is what we on the agenda today for our morning is: shall the select board ask the school advisory committee to study the pros and cons of the withdrawal? And this is what I believe we want to do.
Yes.
And your comment, Jessica, that the advisory committee should get together and start this is right on the mark.
Okay. Yes, I agree. The answer to that question should be yes. The school advisory committee should do that.
Yeah.
We'd be very happy about that.
So what we'll do now is that hopefully we'll try to get a motion from the board tonight here to get the advisory committee from Grafton to start doing their homework.
All right.
Yes, and I would schedule their meeting for as soon as you can, and ahead of time query the school board as to the district financials for the last 2 years.
Okay.
At a minimum, and whatever other information you think you might want.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys are going to have to excuse me because, as I said, this weighting study has the potential impact of maybe as much as 20% on the education tax for our area, and I want to try to stay attached to that meeting. I'm kind of running 2 meetings simultaneously, okay. So if Justin knows everything I know, and probably can say it more briefly than I can, so I'm going to go off.
Okay, thank you, John.
Yeah.
All right, so our board, does somebody want to make a motion that we ask the advisory committee to start the investigation process?
First, can I ask a question of Jessa?
Sure, go ahead.
Jessa, if we were to ask our advisory committee to meet, would you be willing to meet with them and bring them up to speed?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Seems like that would be much more efficient.
Yes. But I would also like included essentially like an agenda item, if you could mail it out to the existing school board saying the advisory committee is going to meet on such date. Please provide the budget information and the financials for the last 2 years. And then we can get that sort of delivered in a format. We can email it to everybody, give it to you to put up whatever you'd like.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so does somebody want to make a motion that we ask the advisory committee to set a date and to meet with Jessica to start the process?
Jessica was suggesting that we set the date.
Well, how can we set the date? We don't have the committee with us. I was hoping that one of the committee members, Hardy Merrill, was going to be on tonight, but he's not.
Who else is
Oh, he's here.
I've been listening.
Sorry.
I've been listening.
So, Hardy, do you have any dates in mind?
No, I don't. You know, the advisory committee, the three of us, I'm not even sure who the third one is. I know that Chris is on it, I believe, and myself, and I don't know who else is on it. I think we need to know exactly what we're supposed to be doing, and we don't know that. I don't know that. And I'm starting to hear something from Jessica, because finance is sort of, you know, where I would like to be a part of. So, but we need some direction here, I think.
I think the agenda item, you can probably get away with one agenda item for a meeting, which is to discuss, and this sounds rash, but I think it's the best way to put it, to discuss the withdrawal from the Union Elementary District.
And what information would be needed?
You're saying make that part of the agenda.
Yeah.
He means to make that part of the agenda.
We need an education, I think, is what I'm saying.
Yes, but I think for agenda items, you can just put to discuss withdrawal from the Union Elementary District, and therefore ahead of time, it's okay to do it through email to ask the school board for the last years of budgets and tax information. I think that's a good place to start.
I would say that's true. I would agree with that.
Okay, so how do we get it? Hardy, how do you want to do this? Get this meeting going with the three of you and with Jessica, so that the process can get started.
Who's the third member?
I'll have to look that up. I'm not going to do it right now. I could, but
I think
I
it's
don't know.
Pamela Spurlock.
I think that's right.
Okay, so what?
She thinks that's right.
If we get the information tomorrow, I will call the other two members and see when it would be a good, appropriate time that they could meet, that we could all meet, and we can go from there. But I
Okay,
guess
so-
what they're asking for is a motion to get us moving here,
Right.
and what information that the school board is going to provide us.
It's Rachel Plummer. Sorry about that. It's not Pamela Spurlock, although she volunteers to serve, but the third member is Rachel Plummer.
Good, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so Hardy, can we give you, can the select board give you a motion to start the process? And then you deal with the other members, and Jessica will either through her or your request to her, get all the necessary information?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I make that motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second
I
it.
need somebody to restate the motion.
The motion is for Hardy to call a meeting of the school advisory committee and to work with Jessa to collect the information they need to proceed.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay, Hardy, and if you need help, with Bill, whatever, we're here to help you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be in tomorrow.
All righty. Thank you, Jess. Go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, and let me know when the meeting is scheduled, and
Okay,
anything they want, we can get.
thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Jeff.
Other business? Is there any other business?
I have some.
Go ahead.
Our minutes that we just approved of the 2nd, in those minutes, we talk about having to meet with the road crew and do performance evaluations in order to set budget wages, the wages of the employees. But unless something has changed, evaluations do not reflect their pay, or they don't get a pay raise based on the merit of their evaluation. So the select board itself could actually say, based on everything that's going on, we're going to do cost of living for our employees, and we can still have evaluations and talk about things that need to improve, things that are very good. The two are not currently tied together. So,
but we had the personnel committee, Alan, we're supposed to be meeting on Thursday, and it's our recommendation of what we want to do that we will bring back to the board, as I understand it. And whether we want to make a recommendation that they get merit increases besides or no, that's up to us to do that and let the board decide.
Okay.
Any other business?
Yep, I have another one. Also on our minutes that we just accepted under item 11, other business, it states that Rich and Stan will have something on the agenda for guidelines. That's been promised for a while. It hasn't happened. Everybody's aware of what's happened with COVID in the last few days. I suggest that we ask the emergency management director to write something that is appropriate and get some guidelines in place. And it can be a simple statement that just says the town of Grafton will follow the guidelines of ACCD.
That's been sent to Bill. That was sent November 2nd through email, through an attachment. Town of Grafton COVID-19 policy dated November 2nd, 2020. I have it, but that was sent. I never heard anything back. So I'm assuming it meant all protocols.
I think it's a really good policy. You know, we've been kind of busy, you know, trying to set up the meeting and doing all this other stuff. So no, I haven't gotten to it. And we had a holiday in between, and I'm already getting complaints that I work overtime. So yeah, I'll get it done. Thank you.
But Alan, that has been done.
Actually, Stan has it done. Stan and Rich did it, and it's all done.
Okay. Well,
we'll put it on the next agenda, and we'll get it adopted.
I'm just saying it said it was going to be on this meeting, and it wasn't. So I'd just like to see it.
Okay, just remember.
When I send out the agenda, you could raise that issue when I send out the agenda, Al. That's why I send out the agenda and ask people if they want something on there.
Right, and this, we asked the select board if they want to put anything on the agenda, and so in the future, if there's something that I miss or Bill misses, let us know. We have no problem putting it on the agenda. Okay. Any other business?
This is Hardy.
Yeah.
Again. We had scheduled a capital budget meeting for tomorrow night, and I had 6 people at the time who were going to attend, you know, in person upstairs in the town hall. Well, that's obviously dead now.
Right.
Bill sent out an email today to the members to see if we would be able to get a Microsoft Teams meeting going, and we've only had 2 people that have responded. John is one of them, and Kim, who can't vote, is the other one. And Joe Valenti did respond that he could be there. I don't know what a quorum is, or whether we can meet still virtually, or whether we have to cancel the meeting and try to go with it at a future date. So I just wanted to update you on that situation. And Danny still owes me some information.
Well, I think you got to have the information from Danny before we can continue anyways.
So you want me to cancel the meeting for tomorrow?
I was told
Danny.
I'll have the meeting. I was told I was going to have the information from the salesman by tomorrow. That's all I got from them.
Well, I guess my point is we don't have a lot of the team available here for the meeting tomorrow, so I'm wondering whether it should be canceled or not.
Well, that's really up to
Or what the requirements are for the meeting. Do we need a quorum, or can we have whoever shows up hold the meeting?
This is an advisory committee only, and so you don't have to have a quorum. And whatever you can do to get the capital budget committee together to make a recommendation, the more you can get, the better. I haven't, as you know, I had people hit reply all, as Hardy has already reported. We've only heard back from 4 of them on email. Joan Lake did call me, Hardy, and said that she could not do it that way. So.
And I know Linda Robertson has her surgery tomorrow on her cataracts, so she's probably out. And I never heard from one person who was on the committee who didn't return a phone call or anything about the meeting in the first place.
Well, Arch probably can't make it.
Yeah. And he hasn't responded at all.
Well, Hardy, I guess since you don't need a quorum, make a decision with the members who can, and maybe you should go forward with the meeting or change the date.
I'm happy to go forward with it if I can.
I don't see why you can't.
Okay. So Bill, we'll set that up tomorrow for 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, yep.
Hardy, I think you got to get a hold of Danny and find out if he's got the information for you, or the meeting is. We can't do anything at the meeting.
Yeah, Danny needs the information. If he doesn't have the time, then postpone it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Danny?
I'll see if I have the information from them tomorrow. I've called them both. They said I'd have it. I won't know until tomorrow.
Well, Danny, why don't you and Hardy meet tomorrow? And if you don't have the information, then you guys can cancel the meeting. I mean, you can't have a meeting if you don't have the information.
I won't have the information unless the salesman's call me back. So
that's what I mean. But you'll know that tomorrow sometime.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time? We're supposed to meet at 4 o'clock, so I would say maybe we want to cancel this thing.
Yeah, I don't know what time they'll get back to me, if they even will.
Well, Hardy, actually,
you only have 3 people. You only have 4 people to notify, including yourself, Hardy. So if he doesn't get the information, then you call the meeting off.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fine with me.
And if you need to reschedule it, let Bill know, and he'll set up the team meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Are there any other business? Public comment? Guess not. Okay. The next date of the meeting of our regular meeting is December 7th, and as the agenda said, it's not at the Brick Mountain Meeting House. It will be on Microsoft Team Live. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
All right.
All right.